Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rants and Yarn with Two Best Friends. And tonight I'm recording by myself since my best friend's traveling here to visit family, and we'll meet each other on Wednesday and possibly do a video then. And so I'm here tonight by myself, and I'd like to say hello and happy holidays to everyone. Hope you guys are all ready for Christmas Eve and Christmas in the next 2 days, and hope that you all are having a fun long weekend from work, and I wish you guys all the best, and I hope that everyone who can be with their family has a wonderful time and celebrates and just spends quality time with those that they love, and whatever's going on, just put them aside for the next 2 days and let it be. And for those who are religious, that they have the time to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ and all that it symbolizes. In today's news, we're getting good rain, and for those who like to ski, they're getting good snow up in the mountains. But unfortunately, the government is on shutdown right now, and it may go through the new year, and negotiations are still happening, but now, because it's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, they have given it a break for everyone to celebrate the holiday, and then they're going to resume again on Wednesday, and hopefully they can come to an understanding so that government can go back into business and everyone can get their wages. Because I know that it's affecting people. It's affecting some people, this government shutdown. So I hope they resolve the issues with the border wall as soon as possible. So, as soon as possible. And in other news, I just read recently that there has been a tsunami in Indonesia, and my heart goes out to all those people affected, especially during this tough Christmas Eve over there. It must be hard for everyone that lost a loved one or had their house in shambles or whatnot, whatever the situation is. I just extend prayers out to them that they can, extend my heart out to them that they can have the time to mourn their loved ones and just have the time to gather themselves. And my heart goes out to them because it's Christmas of all times, and then the New Year, it's just a sad way just to end the holidays and enter the New Year, I know. And for all the people here in California that are still trying to recover from the fires that have happened, my heart goes out to all those people, and who's ever responsible for those fires, that they may be properly prosecuted and brought to justice. Because this is something that's just, it breaks my heart. And tonight, I have an article to bring to you from the Daily Republic, Solano County's news source. And it comes from Kentucky. Shout out to everyone who lives in Kentucky. But to all you moms out there that are doing a good job raising your kids and still raising your babies and still trying to go out and have some fun, eat in a restaurant, and enjoy your outings. I know if I ever have a kid, I'm going to do the same. I'm still going to go out and enjoy and bring my kid along, because of course my kids will be allowed in the restaurant. They'll be allowed in places that are kid friendly, and maybe there are people who don't think it's appropriate to bring kid here or there, and I'm like, okay, fine, then you confine me to my house, and you allow me, and then you watch my kid for free, and then allow me to go out and dine. Because I want to go out and dine, but maybe I'm afraid to have a babysitter for that 1 hour, because you never know who you're going to get, and maybe maybe the grandparents can't babysit at that time, and you want to be able to bring them out, and for them to be able to sit there and you can hang out with them while they enjoy a meal. And I think that if you're feeding your kid, whether it's breastfeeding or whatever, I don't think that should be disallowed. Whether you cover up or not, it shouldn't even matter. It should be a normal thing in society. It shouldn't be shunned upon for moms to not be able to openly breastfeed their kid. Oh, you have to cover them up. Oh, it distracts the other patrons dining here from their full experience. I'm like, I bet half the people, they don't even care. Because people are just minding their own business eating. Maybe they're just sitting in a booth somewhere and enjoying their own meal. Manager allegedly tries to cover breastfeeding Kentucky mom at Texas Roadhouse, and she's suing. Rightfully so, because there's no rule that they have in place at the Texas Roadhouse that says breastfeeding in public is not allowed. And even if it was, it has to be like a public law that is in place in Kentucky or maybe in that city that says you're not allowed to breastfeed. You have to be covered when you're breastfeeding, or you're not allowed to breastfeed in public, period. There has to be a public rule that says that. I'm not sure if restaurants are allowed to make those choices themselves. Because I understand some parents, they're not going to take their kid to like a fine dining 5-star restaurant where they serve like a 5-course meal to you with proper china, because they know that's not the place to bring your kid. But if it's a place like the Texas Roadhouse, they know it's a family-friendly place. They assume it's a family-friendly place where they can take their kids and just have a nice time. And they're not disturbing the peace. They're just there quietly eating. The baby's eating her own dinner from her mother, I know the normal people just say, why don't you bring a bottle? But there are some parents who, they have their own reasons why they just want natural breast milk and they don't want to have a bottle, unless you bottle the breast milk and you take it with you. But sometimes moms like to do it au naturel 100% of the time, and only like 5% of the time use the bottle, because that's their bonding time with their kid. And once their kid gets too old for that and starts teething, they may not be able to do that anymore. It depends for each parent. A Kentucky woman is suing Texas Roadhouse after she claims a manager tried to cover her infant while the child was breastfeeding inside the restaurant. And of course, she's suing because it's not right for a manager to just take a napkin or whatever, take something and put it over the kid, It's, that's more disturbing to the kid. The kid will maybe might just start crying, or it will cause a bigger scene than just letting it be. Sadie Jackson, Durbin of Louisville, alleges David Mitchell brought a napkin to her at her table and asked her to cover up because the patron was complaining about her breastfeeding her 7-week-old infant at the Shelbyville Road restaurant on November 15th. She said Mitchell tried putting the napkin over her baby's face and her breast. Okay, I don't understand why that patron couldn't just go over there and talk to the mother herself, and why she had to tell the manager to deal with it. And the manager didn't deal with it in a nice way. He just took a napkin and put it over the baby's face and her breast and just tried to cover it, period. I mean, you know, he didn't like go over there and try to talk with her and tell her, well, look, this personal, you know, maybe because he thought it would stir even more issues if she actually did that, if he actually did that, but we don't know. You all, I am a strong woman, and even a stronger mother, Durbin wrote on Facebook. There is not much that rattles me, but as I lie sick here in bed processing what happened, the tears continue to roll. I've never felt so humiliated in my life. I was feeding my baby. So she goes, this mother wrote on Facebook that she's upset by what played out, and that she thinks it's nothing because she was just feeding her baby. She thinks it's the reactions were just not correct. And I understand with her, you know. I don't see an issue with it. Maybe some people will stare and look, but some other people, they're not really gonna care. It's a normal part of life. When Durbin tried to find out who the complaining patrons were, she said the manager came back to her table, threw his hands up angrily, said, I'm not at liberty to tell you that. Listen, lady, I've done nothing wrong. Excuse me. He's not at liberty to tell who it is. It's like he's under oath, and it's like there's an investigation going on or something. He's not allowed to release evidence or tell certain people who the other party is. And I mean, like, excuse me. She wanted to confront those people. Maybe she probably was going to be civil and do it outside of the restaurant so not to disturb other people and talk to them if they weren't going to listen calmly. But she probably wanted their opinion, but the manager, he did it in the wrong way. He was forceful, and he just outright he threw up his hands and said that he's not allowed to tell her who told him that they're not happy with what she's doing, you know? And okay, he didn't do anything wrong. He was conveying her a message, but if it was me, I want to know who doesn't like the fact that I'm breastfeeding my kid while I'm eating my meal in the restaurant, you know? I want to confront those people, if I have the guts, but she wants to confront those people and have a chat with them. But the manager is wrong to not disclose who the people are to her. Because, I mean, so what? They're to be left anonymous. I guess they want it to be anonymous maybe, but then why are you going to make this comment and remain anonymous? You're going to be scared of what the consequences are? It's not right. And he's done nothing wrong. He was wrong to just throw a napkin over the baby's head. I think that was not right of him, and I think he should have just told her, look, lady, those people over there have an issue with you breastfeeding your kid. If you could kindly move, we can reseat you. I mean, we could reseat you in the bag. We could, why don't you go elsewhere? I don't know. It's mean to say to go elsewhere, but I mean, move away from the from the people that are totally against her breastfeeding at the restaurant, But there's no reason why she can't go confront those people and be like, hey, my sound was not on. Okay, I'm back, and yeah, I thought that I had the volume off, and I thought that the sound wouldn't be on in my video, but I was wrong. It's totally okay and have no issue. So now back on with the video, and as I was saying, yeah, but it's still embarrassing to have to make her move. But why can't the manager just let the two of them handle it? Why does he have to do something? I understand that he doesn't want to cause a scene, but he already caused one himself by not being able to disclose who the people are and throwing his hands in the air and putting a napkin over the baby's face, Durbin's Facebook post has been shared more than 33,000 times since last week. According to Kentucky's law, a mother may breastfeed her baby or express breast milk in any location, public or private. Alright! Kentucky has no law against breastfeeding. Well then, there you go, Mr. Manager of the Texas Roadhouse. Now you're really in the wrong, because she can point the law to you and say, well, you're wrong and I'm right, and he can just say, I'm sorry, and move past it, which should be, and just give her a free meal for her to come back next time and just serve her and not bother her. Durbin is suing the restaurant for negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent training, assault, and punitive damages. Exactly. I mean, she's suing for negligent intentional infliction of emotional distress. Well, okay, it might have been emotionally distressing to the baby if the baby started crying and whatever, and you're disturbing the peace of the restaurant as well. But of course she was distressed herself, because she was just relaxed and calm, and then all of a sudden this happened, and then she got agitated, and then he got agitated, and of course that could cause emotional distress for the mother and then the baby as well. But I mean, the negligent training, I mean, of course the manager should have had training and been taught about this. There's a lot of things in the restaurant world that you're not taught about, but you don't have to be taught everything. Most of the stuff are common sense that you should know if it's, that you should know what's appropriate and not based on your own judgment. But there's a lot of managers and employees who don't know the half of it on their own terms, and they just, make a big deal about things that, is not a big deal. It's even alright to do it as a law in Kentucky, You should have done your homework first before storming off, or you could have just told her who the people were and let her handle it herself, He said, you can kindly talk to them, but please don't disturb the rest of the patrons, Because if I was the manager, I would have just told her who it was, let her deal with it herself. I wouldn't have made a big deal about it, because it would cause greater issues, Durbin alleges the manager caused her fear when he attempted to place a napkin over her breast and her child's head. Well, it caused her fear because she didn't know what he was going to do. He didn't know if he was just going to politely put the napkin over the head or how he was going to go about doing it. Of course, you'd be scared because you don't know what the person's going to do. Of course, you can, but you don't want to hurt the baby by quickly getting up out of your seat because you could fall over. You could fall over, something can happen, you know. Travis Doster, the Texas Roadhouse Vice President of Communications, told Way 3 Mitchell meant no ill, and he did not know the law. He also said the store has tried to apologize to Durbin. Okay. The vice president, I guess Texas Roadhouse is a chain, obviously, but the vice president, he's trying to handle it so it doesn't ruin all the other Texas Roadhouses in the country. And of course, the manager should have, before he made a big deal about it, he should have looked it up and told the other patrons, oh, it's legal to do this. If you're not happy about it, we can sit you elsewhere, or we can give you a discount on your meal. We're very sorry, but I'm not allowed to say anything to this woman because it's a Kentucky law that they're allowed to breastfeed in public. It doesn't matter where. Just, you know. But I guess he doesn't know. And Durbin, the manager, he apologized. He apologized and was hoping maybe the mother would accept it. Mitchell, the manager. He apologized to Durbin, the mother, who I would hope that she would just accept the apology and move on. And if it was me, I would tell him, now you know the law. Now you know the law. Next time, you should just tell me who it is, and I can go tell the person who it is, and we can just talk to the other people ourselves. I know you want to handle it yourself, but sometimes, you know, it's best handled by the two parties not agreeing with each other, you know? And you mediating might not always be the best thing, you know? He did not understand what he was doing and how it would be taken, so I would not characterize that as an assault, Doster said. I know some early Facebook posts said he threw a napkin. In our statement, we say politely offered, can I get you a cover-up? See, if you're not there firsthand to witness what happened, then you're just going to speculate, oh, he threw the napkin. I mean, he didn't really offer her napkin, and yuck, to just use a diner napkin, restaurant napkin to put over your kid's head. No matter how clean it could be, you know. Even if it's a regular napkin, whatever, you know. I wouldn't use it to put over my head. I'd probably have a blanket or something I could use, but if it's legal, I would be like her. I'd assert myself and say, it's legal here, you know, harassing me. But if she says he threw a napkin, they throw a napkin. It's hard to just put it one way, because one person says, the mother says he threw the napkin, but then he says he politely offered her a cover-up. So what would he have done if she said, no, I don't want one, you know? Would he have just gone to the other patron and say, no, she doesn't want to cover up? He didn't even know the law that it was illegal to breastfeed, but now he does. So next time he can think twice about his actions. Texas Roadhouse failed to train their employees not to interfere with the mother's right to breastfeed, the lawsuit alleges. Of course. I mean, when you open a restaurant, you have to look at all the legalities. Sometimes you miss a few things, and then you say, oh, the employee wasn't properly trained because he did something wrong in this area. But I mean, when it comes to breastfeeding, it's not taught like it is to make sure that every utensil and plate is properly sanitized and there's no stains on it or food crumbs. There's really no rules. But maybe if they looked up Kentucky laws relating to restaurants, maybe that would have popped up. Breastfeeding is allowed in the restaurant. Or if you see something before you approach a situation, you go to the internet and research it. Is it, easy to research it nowadays when you have internet. To research anything, and it will pop up that it's a Kentucky law, and you just have to go tell the other patrons, I'm sorry, but it says here that it's a law and they're allowed to breastfeed in public, and it includes Texas Roadhouse. The restaurant is going to educate its staff about breastfeeding laws according to WDRB. Yeah, now that this thing has occurred, they will educate everybody and make sure that it doesn't happen again. What can you do? You just have to take it. You just have to take it one at a time, There's nothing you can do about it. You can't, there's nothing you can do about it now at this point. Just move on. One commentator to Durbin's Facebook post, Jenna Sizemore, said she witnessed the incident, and she claimed that the manager was cautious and polite toward Durbin. She said Durbin was a disgrace to women who fight for breastfeeding rights. Oh, wow! So now another restaurant patron comes out and tells her side of the story and what she saw. Okay, then she's backing up the manager, saying he was polite about the situation and tried to find a way to handle it so that everyone would be happy. I guess maybe she just got on the defensive side and made it worse, or played it out to be worse than it really was, the situation. Okay then, now there's a witness to the manager, so now we can safely say that the manager did what was best and was handling things the best he can in a nice way. One comment, I don't see breastfeeding as sexual or negative in any way, but there is also an aspect of decency and respect for others, Sizemore wrote. This woman clearly was looking for an argument. There was also Sizemore says, the witness says that she just wanted to cause an argument and say it was more than whatnot, because I guess she just wanted to be left alone and for people to assume that it's okay and not to be bothered. And of course, maybe she's the kind of person, if she gets bothered, she'll react in a way that causes an argument and makes it worse than it really is, blows the situation out of proportion. Others have stood up for Durbin. Millie Hayward wrote, anyone that doesn't like it should eat at home. And Andrea Dinoma Ferdmange said breastfeeding is a wonderful way to not only feed her child the best way she can, but to also bond with the baby. I mean, people should expect they're going to see a lot of things in certain restaurants. Of course, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the breastfeeding part. I would understand if there's an issue with like an unruly toddler who's running around the whole establishment. It's hard for me to enjoy my meal, and sometimes I just get frustrated with those kids, but I can't do anything about it because I'm gonna get in trouble. So I just sit there and like boil over in my head, and at some point maybe I just eat hurriedly and try to get out of there, or I get the rest of my food to go and I leave, or ask to be seated elsewhere if possible, It's hard. It's really hard, and we do the best we can to manage each situation. And I understand mothers should learn how to manage their kids better at that age, but, toddlers will be toddlers. But in this instance, it's just a baby. She's just breastfeeding. I mean, she's doing her job as a mother. There's nothing wrong. Well, that's why other people are standing up for her, because they're saying that she's just doing what any mother would do, feed her child the right way, and she should be able to do it and go out in public. Durbin told Wade 3 her lawsuit isn't about money, but rather to educate the public. She's seeking compensation for past and future medical expenses and past and future pain and suffering according to the lawsuit. Okay, she doesn't want Texas Roadhouse to pay her out and give her money, and she wants, education, and that's what they're doing. They're going to educate their employees and everyone who works at every and any Texas Roadhouse. They're going to see what the laws are in each state that has a Texas Roadhouse, and they're going to react accordingly. But in my opinion, what else they could do is just tell them who the people are that are making the comment, and they can talk about it themselves, rather than just have the manager try to handle it, and then it blows out of proportion, and then he's in trouble. Because if it's the two of them, he can just ask them to go out and discuss it, or he won't be liable if the two of them get into a altercation, And she's saying that she has suffering, and what future pain is she saying that she's going to have? Future medical expenses, excuse me. What other future medical expenses, past and future pain and suffering? What do you know what you're going to have in the future? Oh, you're predicting that it's going to cause you emotional stress, that you were out. It's going to cause you anxiety to ever go out in public and breastfeed your kid. Okay, I understand that, and you may need therapy to handle that situation. I totally understand that. Maybe they can just compensate her and give her some money, however it may be. She's probably going to end up going an unknown number of times to get help for that, for her emotional distress from all of that, and then charge them, and it's going to be super expensive. And, people play up these situations just to game the system. And I mean, seriously, just to game the system, in my opinion, truly, I don't know, besides anxiety of ever breastfeeding in public again, other medical issues she's going to have, And after this, and if she's able to talk to whomever got upset, and she's able to work it out with these people, it should be okay. Maybe she'll want to talk to a professional about this in the future, but excuse me, she's not going to have much more than that, trust me. And if she tries to claim anything else, I'm telling you, I'm not a medical professional by any means, but from experience with anxiety, from experience myself with anxiety and stress and emotional issues that I deal with and I go to therapy for, I know that certain situations can cause me a lot of anxiety. I tend not to show it too much to the public because I try to finish what I'm doing. That's causing me the anxiety, and then later I would leave the situation and try to relax and get my anxiety to go away by going home and just chilling out, Or if I can't do that, I go to my favorite bakery or something and have a nice dessert and a nice drink, or get a beverage. Come home and have a nice alcoholic beverage to calm me down. Or I can buy that stuff and bring it home to eat, and then calm myself down, have a nice drink, have a nice dessert, and calm myself down and breathe and relax, and later on I'll be relieved. And if it still bothers me when I go to my therapy session, I can talk about it with my therapist, and he can help me ease myself from it, It's just, but we're all a country where everybody's around to ask to claim more than the situation really is, and then ask to be compensated for it. They say they don't want money, but then they want to be compensated for expenses that they will incur because of this situation. And they're just going to make it more than it is. Because even me, I've had accidents where other people were involved and they want to claim more than it really is, and I think to myself, wait, what they're actually claiming has nothing to do with the incident. Oh, you're having brain issues? You're having brain issues? You didn't even fall and hit your head. You were just walking and you slipped a little and you got checked out and there's nothing wrong with your head, but now you're claiming that, oh, there's this and there's this, but then you get checked out and they don't find anything, but you're still pushing it hard. Of course there's someone who's going to vie for you, but of course in reality, insurance company's not going to let it slide if there's no hard evidence to back it up, excuse me. So that didn't go through with me, and I was thankful because I know about, if you fall and hit certain places or get emotionally distressed, you can have chest pain and stuff like that. That's understandable. Or pain in your feet if you fall a certain way, or certain issues whatsoever maybe. But with your head, if you're mentally capable and don't have to be rushed to the hospital, excuse me, you're going to be totally fine in the head. And then later you want to claim that, I have this head injury here, this head injury there. There are witnesses, like the police and stuff, that is there to say that it could not have been that way, really. Maybe emotional trauma that's causing you stuff like that, but there's always a fine line with that. So yeah, and this concludes the article. And the last thing I have to say about this is we're a country where we can sue for everything and anything, and we're going to find a way to gain money. She says she doesn't want money. She just wants payment for all the medical stuff she's going to incur. And maybe she'll have some present trauma, but she's going to say she's going to have future issues. Seriously, maybe you can just pay for her to have 10 sessions with a therapist, and that's about it, If the therapist says she'll need long-term care, then just charge the insurance. I don't think that Texas Roadhouse has to pay for that past a certain amount of time, because that's just a small instance. She was breastfeeding. The manager just maybe got a little in her face about it, but he apologized. But in my opinion, you should have just told her who the people were and let them handle each other. and then he wouldn't have had to be in the middle of it. And then he could have also done some research and saw that it was a Kentucky law and told the other patrons, excuse me, but it's written here in the Kentucky law that it's allowed to breastfeed in the restaurant. So if you still have an issue with it, even if it's legal, I suggest you kindly talk to her kindly have a conversation with her about it, or we can just move you or compensate your meal or something like that, Give them something for their trouble, or give them a discount for the future meal, or a free meal next time, whatever, to appease them. Because if it's a law, they can't really do something. Maybe they can go up and talk to the woman and say, we're not here to say anything wrong against your breastfeeding your kid, but it would be nice if you used one of those covers that people use when breastfeeding their kid, so it can be more of a hidden, intimate thing between you and your kid. We would like you to think about that. And if you can't afford one, we would like to gift you one, And she could very well decline it and say, no, it's a law and I'm allowed to, and there's no rule that says I have to be covered, Then she'll freely do it and they can't say anything about it, And if they're regulars at the Texas Roadhouse, they can say, next time we're here, please make sure that we're seated, in a quiet area far away from where any of this is going on. If the restaurant is just situated in a way that there is no intimate area, then they're just going to have to learn that they have to live with the fact that there will be people like that. Otherwise, take their food to go and eat it at home, where they can sit in their dining room table and not have to see breastfeeding parents or wild toddlers or any other thing that might inconvenience them and disturb them from enjoying their meal. They'll still enjoy the food at the Texas Roadhouse, but in a more quiet setting where nothing can disturb them besides husband and wife, than eating together. If they get disturbed by each other, then they can eat alone. So yeah. And thank you everyone for listening tonight, and I will come back to you hopefully on Wednesday with Stefanie, and we'll do another video for you. Thank you everyone, and have a Merry Christmas, and I wish you all the best holidays with your families, and my heart goes out to you if you don't have a family to spend it with. Hopefully you can find somewhere with friends or anywhere just to enjoy the Christmas season. And I'm sorry for all of those having a hard time this Christmas season, and my heart goes out to you, and all my prayers goes out to you. May you have good thoughts that next year will be a better year from you, and just take it one day at a time, and if you really truly work at it one day at a time, you will be able to rebuild and make something of yourself. And I'm sorry to those who need help but can't get the help due to monetary issues. But seek the assistance, get help, get better, and make something out of your life. And you will thank yourself for it later. Maybe now it will be too stressful, but you'll thank yourself later. There is a way out of every situation, and you can make a better life of yourself. I promise you. I know that it's hard to afford medicine if you have mental issues, but there has to be a way that you can get help and get medicine for low to no cost at all, so that you can be able to live a normal life and get yourself situated. But for those of you who are happy the way you are, then okay, just be safe and live your life the way you want. Just don't involve other people who don't want to be involved. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all. My social media will be linked down below, and all my shopping websites will be linked down below. I have things listed for sale on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. Check it out. Maybe you'll find something that you'd like to buy. And if the price is not right, you can message me and we can talk and negotiate a better price for you, so that you can purchase the item. And also not listed on Facebook, I have an extra small LuLaRoe Azure skirt in the color black. Price is negotiable, and anyone can message me, and message me if you're interested. Thank you, and have a nice night, everyone. Good night. I'm out.